April was an exciting month here at Planting Roots. We had an amazing Strength to Thrive conference that focused on community based on our theme verses, Acts 2:42 through 47. If you didn't get a chance to see that, make sure you keep an eye out for the virtual release at the end of the summer. Season 3 of our podcast series, Deeply Rooted, also kicked off on Wednesday, April 13th. You can listen every Wednesday to hear more from some familiar staff, as well as from some new ladies who have joined us this season. Make sure to download our app to find past episodes, as well as any Seeds episodes that you might have missed. Also this month, Jennifer Wake will host our Coffee and Connect on April 28th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. She will discuss God in transitions. It's not too late to get signed up for that. So go over to our website or our app to get registered. And don't forget to meet us on Instagram each Thursday as our prayer coordinator, Michelle Heeb, prays for us. There is so much power in prayer, ladies. So don't hesitate. If you need prayer of any kind, go ahead and email us at prayer@plantingroots.net. We would love to connect with you and pray for you. Well, this month on the Seed series, Kori talked about sharing the gospel. She shared with us examples of what that practically looks like in the book of Acts. She unpacked the word evangelism and explained it's simply living real life. It's aligning our faith through actions and our actions with our words. Robert Coleman calls it a living sermon. He says, one living sermon is worth 100 explanations. Kori encouraged us to start living a life like you believe the gospel to be true. And when we rely on Him, the Spirit equips us to share the hope with others in our day-to-day lives. Then Kori described the difference between conversion and discipleship. Jesus commands us to make disciples, not converts. So go over and take a look at what Kori has to say about discipleship in week 2 of our series. She shares some mind-blowing statistics about the impact of discipleship versus conversion. In the 3rd episode, Kori described the core of what we are called to share to others. Without this knowledge, there's no real purpose in discipleship, right? Check out what she has to say about the core of discipleship. Finally, in week 4 of the Seed series, Kori will talk about bearing fruit. As believers, we are expected to bear fruit, and Kori will describe what it looks like. It's the outward appearance of your walk with the Lord. You won't want to miss that episode that comes out tomorrow. Now, I'd like to go back to what it looks like practically to disciple one another. Jesus' example teaches us that building disciples requires staying close to the ones we seek to lead. It's impossible to disciple in large masses. However, when we get close to a small few, we make a greater impact. It requires spending more than an hour a week investing in one another, though. It's a daily walk. Each duty station has looked different in my discipleship journey. And I've been blessed to have many women disciple me when I sought it out. However, it did take intentionality on my part. We have to seek out these relationships that will guide us to Jesus. When we were stationed at Carlisle Barracks, I clung to a sweet friend of mine, Laura. She was ahead of me in my spiritual journey and had many years of teaching and leading women under her belt. She was a wealth of knowledge and always led me back to the truth. She embodied a faithful disciple. Our relationship didn't form automatically, though. It required that I sought her out for advice. I had her over to my house. She would check on me throughout the week. I even volunteered to co-lead with her and another wonderful woman in Bible study one semester. The impact these 2 women had on my walk with the Lord is irreplaceable. My obedience to seek them out and their willingness to come alongside me and help develop me gave me the confidence to do what I do now. But it all started with that first step of obedience toward building that relationship. Shannon Martin says in the Ministry of Ordinary Places, when we dare to move toward rather than away from each other, our reward is the solace of intimacy. Isn't that what we all want? We want to be heard and known, right? Jesus was continually on the move, ministering to others. He called the disciples to leave everything to follow him. And that means they ate with him, they slept with him, and they worked with him during his ministry on earth. Jesus' nearness to the disciples allowed them to see firsthand what it was like to be like him. We get to know others by being in their presence. Jesus was in constant ministry with his disciples, as we should be also. Jesus says in John 15:27, and you will bear witness because you have been with me from the beginning. Essentially, Jesus said his method for teaching them is simply their being with him. What if we were a people who made an effort that looked like Jesus' example? How much of an impact do you think we could make if we slowed down our lives and took the time to be in the presence of other believers, to just be with others, do life with others, building them up, teaching them and admonishing them, worshiping with them, breaking bread with others? Look around and see who you can walk alongside in a more meaningful way. Be vulnerable to create deeper relationships that point back to Jesus.